Another unscripted video for you guys, and not too much action in this vlog. The main shoot I had to push into its own video just because I didn't want to upload a 20-minute video. No one has time to sit through that. But in this video, a few smaller shoots and some minor upgrades like this hot shoe mic holder. I've been putting off this purchase for ages, since the hot shoe adapter thing on my Deity shotgun mic broke ages ago, and I've been wanting to find a way to run a boom mic into the camera. I had this kind of brainwave moment where I took this old boom pole and my grip head and used it as a boom to have shotgun audio going straight into the camera with this like 5 meter 3.5mm cable for redundancy audio when I'm shooting interviews. Before I sell on my ZV-E1, I'm making the most of having two cameras and offered to shoot this climate conference at the local church for free, which was a good portfolio piece for me and a chance to play around with shooting some event stuff, because I don't really have much experience with that kind of thing, but it was nice to do something in a niche that I was interested in. So for our main angle, the shot of the attendees, I used the ZV-E1 at the back of the room because I had to run the fan on it. You know, the ZV-E1 overheats, so I had my wireless audio going through there, and then I powered the fan from a little power bank in this bag. And then my main camera, obviously the A7IV, really making the most of this 3200 ISO and the new shotgun mic just for like, not really scratch audio, but there was a Q&A section. The audio wasn't great at all, but it was the only way I was actually able to record that kind of thing. And some pretty simple stuff, just shooting on a monopod, basic coverage. I'm going to put some shots on screen of the final video so you guys can see the kind of thing that came out. You know, I find event stuff pretty straightforward. I didn't have to capture B-roll for this one. It was literally just this talk about the COP30 climate event, which happened just this last month. I did the edit as well. I turned it around in a day just because this was a free piece, throwing on graphics from the talk, just kind of playing around with this sort of thing. I don't really do this, so it was fun to experiment with the different angles and things I could cut to and ways I could present information on screen. I did this kind of split screen thing towards the end where I had a shot of the audience, as you can see, on one side and the speaker on the other, just running the DJI Mic 2 audio straight into camera, which turned out pretty good. Didn't make any attempt to hide the mic. I think it's fine to show it in this case. The BTS isn't the most exciting thing ever, but another thing for the portfolio. I'll maybe link the full video down below if anyone's interested in watching. I'll make another video when it's maybe more relevant about living below your means, but I don't often buy personal items for myself. But this was my birthday present from my parents from May, so nice to finally choose some and get those ordered. And I called the A7IV launch. I said Sony were going to come out with some new cameras. Like a true fan, I watched the event live. I'm not going to add to the noise of the internet and give my own take, but my general impression is that these were mostly quality of life changes, and I'm still very happy that I went for the A7IV at my price point. This is a short clip that I didn't include in my previous video about why I went for the A7IV.
Sony's strategy in terms of copying camera sensors carries across to all of their lines of cameras. So I was just talking about the A7IV and the A7C2 and the FX2, all having the same sensor. And again, it's the same exact business model. It's the vlog camera with the A7C2, the A7IV, the hybrid, and what's the other camera I said? Oh, and the FX2, which is a cinema line camera. Basically a rehoused A7IV with the same prop, the same everything, just a cinema body and shutter angle. Like, I really don't think having shutter angle is that much of a priority, but it's interesting how Sony markets their cameras. The equivalent of having shutter angle on this camera is this little lockable spinny shutter thing. So this is by default like the EV compensation thing for when you're taking photos, but it has a little lock here, so you hear it click. So you can unlock that and then it will turn, and that's how I change my shutter speed. And when I want to lock it, it's locked. So if I need to keep my shutter speed at double the frame rate, which is the general rule of thumb, so if I'm shooting at 25p, I'll have the shutter speed locked off at a 50th of a second. But the A7IV also has a load of programmable modes. I don't know if I'm going to talk about this, or I have talked about this in this vlog, but these programmable modes are, because there's a little dial for S&Q, video and photo mode, you get 3 programmable modes in each photo, video and S&Q, which is a massive advantage over cameras like the A7S III or even the FX3. So the way I've got this set up, and I'll probably do a full video on this at some point, is the first mode I have is S-Log3 25p. The second mode is 4K 60 with a crop, but the shutter speed is adjusted for that. And my third mode in video is S-Cinetone. So when I want to burn a LUT straight into the camera, I've got a nice picture profile, which is going to make everything look really nice straight out of camera.
Someone I really look up to in the YouTube space is Gerald Undone. I watched his A7IV video, at the end of which he made a point that seems really obvious, which was all cameras are good now. I mentioned in a previous vlog I'd shot this side-by-side video with the FS5 II, the ZV-E1 and the A7IV, which I was gonna post. I've actually edited the whole video. But before I sat down to do my voiceover, I thought about what Gerald said, and I totally agree. These cameras are all great. And what is the point of comparing three things that are all really good and have three very different use cases? So I don't think I'm going to post that video. I wanted to share this quickly, and I should have done this weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but with my wheelie bag, there was this part, kind of like the tongue of where the zip ends, that would just scrape against the floor. So I've done a very DIY hack because supposedly it sticks there with a magnet. But because I always have this bag pretty full, packed to the brim, I just decided to reinforce it myself. So some really strong duct tape, this kind of like fabric bit here, multiple layers of tape basically. And luckily enough, the bag still functions, can open the zip basically all the way down there, which is as far as I need, and still functions as normal, which is great. And it means that I don't have to basically think constantly when I'm traveling about not damaging the bag, which is not what I want in a product. I want to just be able to use it and work with it. So you can also fold it in here, which helps a lot. So it's basically just rubbing against here. And then if this ever wears down, I'll just replace it. You've seen the new hot shoe adapter, but something else I've added to my kit is this Manfrotto super clamp. I actually got it for less than £36 on Black Friday sale, something I've wanted to try for ages, but can actually support up to 15 kilograms of weight. So you can see I've got my camera on here, which is well within the weight limit. But the idea for this is, you can see there's a million things you can rig to it, but adding a small fixture like in the picture there. I bought the one that didn't come with a stud, but then I was able to buy this double-ended one, which has a 1/4 inch thread on one side and a 3/8 inch thread on the other. And you can see it's got this locking mechanism, so the stud doesn't come out even if you have it unlocked. And these additional mounting points here, which will hopefully open up a whole range of possibilities for things that I can mount with this. But as I said, the primary idea is that I can mount my backlight on it, my 60X, and take one less light stand with me. There are so many shoots where I wish I'd done this, but I've requested a photo for the space we're going to be shooting in on Monday. It's the office of the client I'm working for. I was pretty sure this is where we're going to be shooting, but I just wanted to confirm and remind myself of the furniture in there. But I'll be able to attach my new Manfrotto super clamp to whatever the sturdiest bit of furniture is, or potentially the windowsill down here. I can see this wooden side table looks like it's made out of pretty solid metal, so potentially clamping my 60X onto this table and just having it out of shot in the back. This takes up a fraction of the space that a light stand does, and weighs about the same, or even less, I think, than one of them. So this would be a great solution for when I either have to run two cameras, I want to do that booklight setup that I showed in my last vlog, or I just want to bring one less light stand, even if I don't need to use the other light stands or tripods that I have with me. It's just nice to bring less kit, and obviously because I'm traveling a lot for work, it makes my life so much easier. So this, hopefully, is going to be a game changer. As I said in the opening moments of this video, I'm going to push that shoot to the next vlog because I didn't want this one to be like 20 minutes long. But for now, some wholesome footage. If you remember in one of the last vlogs, I hired a gimbal for a live acoustic shoot in London. Well, I had it for the whole weekend, so I thought, why not go out with my dad and get some test gimbal shots. You can see my behind-the-scenes POV here. I had nowhere else to really share this footage. There's no particular insight or even commentary that I can give here, just me running around trying to get some smooth shots. I'm not a great gimbal shooter at all, It's quite difficult outside, obviously, but you can see the Z axis just wobbling about like loads. So just getting a feel for that and then giving it to my dad and seeing if he can track me with the gimbal. Fun thing to play about with. I thought, why not? Let's get some exterior stuff. Very different to the studio that I shot in. I literally have nothing else to say about this, so I'll probably just fade in some royalty-free music now. I think this clip is from November, but these vlogs just get so long. They're all like 15+ minutes long. So I've scooped a load of clips I wanted to share with you guys for ages into the end of this vlog. This is a portable scale. I got this in a charity shop for like a couple quid, but it's in perfect condition, and I'll give a little demo in a second. Battery powered, and I'm sure you've seen these. You're able to just hang the thing you're weighing off of it. So I can weigh my rolling camera bag, which I would never be able to fit onto the scale. So you can see it's over nearly 11 kilograms there. So heavy thing, but that's really useful for me, potentially if I do any shoots abroad in future, or just to see generally how heavy my bags are. A great tool. I just hope it doesn't become like my light meter in the graveyard of things that I touch once a year. I've also been working on some really boring stuff behind the scenes, such as organising all of my folders for when I inevitably have to do a tax return for this first year of working. So it won't be till a year's time, but I just wanted to get organised. And then also trying to create these documents just to track my outgoings, like this profit and loss sheet. I haven't actually got it so that it updates the running total when you input the numbers, but I'm going to recreate this on Excel, which just tracks my income, my expenses, and my outgoings, just to basically track all of my finances in one place and see whether I'm actually being profitable in a month. I mean, I think I oftentimes judge how successful the business is by how busy I am, and it's great to be busy, especially when you're starting out, but I actually need to start thinking about, am I actually making money here or just like going around in circles? And then the other thing was opened, it's not even a special kind of business bank account. It's just a separate place for all of my business transactions to come out of, which is in the same app as my current account with Starling, which is great. So all of my expenses will go in and out of one place, which hopefully means I'll be able to track those better. Right now, I'm just trying to categorize everything that goes out. I'm trying to put it into different categories and then add it to sheets on here. If it's just on this account, I can then just like go through it systematically, which would be way easier. So yeah, just small, boring things like that, just to make next year go a lot more smoothly and ensure that I'm set up properly. And I'm meeting a lady this afternoon who's a tax advisor. It's not to advise me. I'm not making nearly enough money for like, you know, claiming money back and that sort of thing, just to make sure that I'm set up in the best way possible. And obviously, like, I don't necessarily have a solid business yet. It's just building those skills, the business skills, the freelance skills that are going to help me in the long term.